Welcome to Official History World, where history comes alive. Explore the events, empires, and people that shaped our world. Subscribe and be part of our journey through time.
Premium Forever Love necklace to my beautiful love. Buy this necklace, click my YouTube video description product link, and shop now.
Hey there, welcome back. Today we're taking a deep dive into the world of unsolved mysteries that have perplexed historians and researchers for generations. From vanished civilizations to eerie disappearances, these mysteries continue to intrigue us. The lost colony of Roanoke. In 1587, a small colony was founded on an island off the eastern coast of North America. The settlement would have been the first permanent English colony in the New World had the settlers not disappeared owing to unknown circumstances. The lost colony of Roanoke is one of the most notorious mysteries in American history. The cryptic clues left at the abandoned settlement and the lack of any concrete evidence make it the focus of wild speculation and theories. In the settlement's difficult founding year, its mayor, John White, left for England to request resources and manpower. He returned 3 years later, only to find the settlement empty, his wife, child, and grandchild having vanished. The word Croatoan and the letters CRO carved into trees within the colony's borders were the only signs pointing to an explanation. Despite the clues, the returning crew was unable to search for the missing colonists. A storm approached just as they came upon the desolate settlement, forcing them to turn back for England. On the basis of the mysterious tree carving, the nearby Croatoan island, now known as Hatteras Island, is the location to which many believe the colonists moved. At the time of the colony's founding, the Hatteras Indians occupied the island, and a popular theory supposes that the colonists joined the group of Native Americans to overcome their lack of resources and knowledge of the land. A supposed piece of evidence for this claim is the existence of carvings and stones that were purportedly made by Eleanor Dare, the daughter of John White. These stones, often called the Dare Stones, contain written stories that tell the fates of the colonists and personal anecdotes from Dare to her father. Though they are largely believed to be a hoax and forgery, there is some academic belief that at least one of the stones may be authentic. Since 1998, the Croatoan Project has researched and provided archaeological evidence to back up this theory that the colonists moved to be with, or at least interacted with, the Hatteras tribe. Artifacts and objects found within the Croatoan villages that only English settlers had owned or had made at the time have solidified the connection between the two groups. But despite this evidence and many other theories, it is likely that no definitive answer to the mystery of the colonists' disappearance will ever be found. The Voynich manuscript is an ancient and mysterious book that has confounded historians, linguists, and cryptographers for centuries. It is named after Wilfrid Voynich, a rare book dealer who purchased the manuscript in 1912. The book's origins, purpose, and meaning remain a subject of intense debate and speculation. The manuscript is written in an unknown script or language that has never been deciphered. The characters are arranged in a unique and intricate pattern that defies any known linguistic system ever been created. The manuscript also is adorned with intricate and detailed illustrations of plants, astronomical diagrams, human figures, and some other really weird objects. These illustrations of the text itself often depict plants that do not correspond to any known species. However, radiocarbon dating has placed the manuscript's creation between the 15th and 16th centuries, making it a genuine historical artifact. This adds to the intrigue as it implies that the manuscript is not a modern forgery. And the manuscript came into Wilfrid Voynich's hands in 1912, and he found it among a collection of rare books in a Jesuit college in Italy. The manuscript's origins before this discovery remain uncertain. It's also divided into different sections, each containing various illustrations and text, and some sections appear to be organized around specific themes such as botany and astronomy. Over the years, numerous attempts have been made to decipher the manuscript, but none have been successful. Linguists, historians, and codebreakers from around the world have tried to crack its code, but the manuscript's unique linguistic features and the lack of context have stymied all efforts. This continues to be a subject of fascination for researchers and enthusiasts, and its mysteries have inspired various theories and interpretations. Some believe it to be a genuine code or language that has been lost to history, while others speculate that it could be an elaborate hoax or an attempt at encryption. Despite the efforts of many, the manuscript's true origin and purpose remain one of history's most enduring mysteries. Next, we have the Mary Celeste mystery, which is the case of the ship known as the Mary Celeste, a merchant ship that was discovered adrift and abandoned in the Atlantic Ocean in 1872. The circumstances surrounding the ship's discovery have fueled speculation and intrigue for decades, making it one of history's most crazy and intriguing mysteries. On December 5, 1872, the Mary Celeste was found adrift by a British ship named the De Gratia. The ship was located in the Atlantic Ocean approximately 400 miles east of the Azores. The most puzzling aspect of the mystery was that the Mary Celeste was completely abandoned. There was no sign of the crew, which consisted of the ship's captain, Benjamin Briggs, his wife, their young daughter, and a crew of 8. The ship's cargo and personal belongings of the crew were still on board and undisturbed, so they hadn't been robbed or attacked, and this included valuable cargo such as barrels of alcohol and personal items like the captain's valuables. The ship was found to be in a seaworthy condition. The sails were partially set, and the ship was maneuverable. There was no evidence of a struggle or any damage to the ship that would explain why the crew would have abandoned it. One of the ship's lifeboats was missing, which suggested that some of the members of the crew had left the ship using it. However, there was no logical reason for the entire crew to abandon the ship. You'd think they'd leave some behind. And the mystery of the Mary Celeste has given rise to a range of theories over the years. Some theories suggest piracy or mutiny, while others propose natural disasters, waterspouts, or underwater earthquakes as possible explanations. Others speculate about water contamination causing hallucinations and leading the crew to abandon the ship. Despite extensive investigations and inquiries, no definitive explanation for the crew's disappearance has ever been established. The true reason behind the abandonment of the Mary Celeste remains one of history's great unsolved mysteries. It has inspired many books, documentaries, and theories, making it very captivating. And while modern researchers have attempted to prove plausible explanations, the true events that led to the crew's disappearance and the abandonment of the ship continue to remain shrouded in uncertainty. Next, we have the mystery of D.B. Cooper. D.B. Cooper is the pseudonym given to an unidentified individual who, in 1971, committed one of the most famous unsolved criminal cases in the history of the United States. The case is often referred to as a D.B. Cooper hijacking. On November 24, 1971, a man using the alias Dan Cooper, which was later mistakenly reported as D.B. Cooper, hijacked Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, a Boeing 727 aircraft, while it was en route from Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington. Cooper passed a note to a flight attendant claiming he had a bomb and was hijacking the plane. He showed her a briefcase with wires and red sticks, which he said was a bomb. Cooper demanded $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck standing by in Seattle to refuel the plane for a getaway. Demands were met upon landing in Seattle. After receiving the ransom and parachutes, Cooper released all passengers and some crew members. He then instructed the remaining crew to fly the plane to Mexico City, maintaining a low altitude and slow speed. Somewhere over the rugged and densely forested area of southwestern Washington state, and with bad weather conditions, Cooper parachuted from the rear stairs of the plane, disappearing into the night. Despite an extensive manhunt and investigation by law enforcement agencies, neither Cooper nor most of the ransom money was ever found. In 1980, a young boy discovered a decaying package containing a significant portion of the ransom money along the Columbia River, but the location provided limited clues to Cooper's identity or whereabouts. This case has led to numerous theories and speculations about his identity, fate, and his motivations. Many experts believe that surviving a jump in those conditions would have been extremely challenging, raising questions about whether Cooper could have survived the jump and the escape. This case remains an enduring mystery, captivating the public's imagination and inspiring countless books, documentaries, and discussions over the years. Despite the decades that have passed since the hijacking, the true identity of D.B. Cooper and his ultimate fate remain unknown. The disappearance of the USS Cyclops is one of the most interesting mysteries in U.S. naval history. USS Cyclops was a collier ship of the United States Navy commissioned during World War I. On March 4, 1918, the ship left the island of Barbados in the Caribbean, headed for Baltimore, Maryland, with a crew of over 300 people and a cargo of ore. However, the ship never arrived at its destination and was never heard from again. No distress signals were sent and no wreckage was ever found. Despite extensive search efforts, no trace of the ship or its crew were ever discovered. The disappearance of the USS Cyclops remains the single largest non-combat loss of life in U.S. Navy history, not directly related to combat. Several theories have been proposed to explain the disappearance. 1. Storm or weather-related incident. So one prevailing theory is that the ship was caught in a severe storm, which could have led to the sinking. The Cyclops was known to have slipped at the engine, and bad weather conditions that says that the ship suffered a catastrophic mechanical failure, such as engine trouble or structural issues, which could have caused it to sink rapidly without the crew having time to send any distress signals. The next one, an enemy attack. Given that World War I was ongoing, some speculate the ship might have been attacked by a German U-boat or other hostile forces. However, there's really no evidence supporting this theory that has ever been found. Another theory suggests that mutiny or sabotage could have been involved. Again, however, there's not much concrete evidence to support this idea. And finally, the absence of any wreckage, debris, or even distress signals has led to more speculative theories involving the paranormal or extraterrestrial events. Despite numerous searches and investigations, the exact fate of the USS Cyclops and its crew remain unknown. This disappearance has given rise to a wide range of theories over the years, and it continues to be subject of interest for historians and those intrigued by unsolved mysteries.